Let's see. Are we live? Hello, everybody. Welcome. I just because are we live? Like, oh, what's going on here? Like, I've never done this before in my entire life. Hi, welcome to the JHME Spotlight. I am James Lott Jr. and he is Frank Moran. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I just because are we live? Quiet. The other James. Again, he is Frank Moran. Hi, Frank.
Hey, James, look at us back together and feeling so good.
Yes, back together, reunited. Yeah, reunited. It feels so good. I love that. We're back to our General Hospital. Of course, going to do church announcements. Y&R and Bold. We did both of them. Y&R, we talked a little too long. We did talk about both. Woo! Got in there. They're both out with the lovely Candace Mack, who joined us for both, because Tammy Doc Ovea is in New York. Had a time of her
Ooh.
life. Yes. She's at Tiffany's having breakfast and lunch, apparently.
Very nice.
Like literally, she was sitting through her at Tiffany's, having lunch. So she's there, but she'll be back next time we come back. So both shows are out, and you can catch them audio and video. So either one you want to watch, you can catch them. They're out there now. After this show is my chocolate twin, Tony Moore, and his gang talking about Peacock's #1 award-winning exclusive hit series. As he always says that every week, Days of Our Lives. Also, Tony will be back for the third time in a row, Frank, as the host of Day of Days in November. So I'm very happy for it.
Oh, hey, look at that. Very nice.
Yes, it's very cool.
Do they do that at the Staples Center, or where's the
Oh,
venue?
they were doing it at Universal City Walk. We did that for years. I forgot where they are now. That's a good question. Go to Days of Our Lives, I might tell you, but that's a good question. I don't remember where it's at. It's at a big venue. I don't remember where it is. I don't remember where it is. And Frank, it's not Staples Center anymore. It's
Oh, it's
Crypto.com Arena.
right. Hey, crypto.com. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we got that going.
It's Crypto.com, dumb name. But anyway,
Oof.
it's somewhere, but it's November 2nd, I believe. And I'm just very proud of my chocolate twin for getting that gig every year now. They see the value in Tony, which Moore's a great host. And so I'm very excited about that for him.
And I'm sure the cast loves him because otherwise
They do.
they'd be back.
They do. They've known him for years. He's been on the show. They know him for years. So it's a great win-win for everyone. I like seeing my people make it. So that's very good. This I also do other after shows. And I want to mention them because I'm getting a lot of attention from my neighbors after show.
Ooh.
It's been a lot of fun. There's some hot guys on there. Let me tell you. It's a fun show. I need subtitles sometimes because I don't know what they're saying in Australia. But it's a fun show, and I totally love it. So many Frank, so many accents, I'm like I can get them. But it's a lot of fun. So you can check it out, audio and video. I have an audio video. Just simply Neighbors After Show. So all you got to type in, it is there. Thanks for the kind words and all your stories and everything. I'm having a fun time being the American navigating the Australian soap. It's been fun, Frank.
And I'm sure they've been loving having you talk to the cast and stuff as well.
Yes, and more is coming. More cast stuff is coming. So I'm on the rotation. There's some great things. Frank mentioned that there's a cast member I'm talking to soon in a few weeks. So yes, it's been and they just love you. They love the attention. They're like, Americans, who are you guys? We have a good time. So that's a fun one. And also, folks, what you guys know, I do other after shows that are not live. I do the All My Children, Life to Live, Dallas, Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, and Dynasty After Show. So check those out. Speaking of Dallas, and leading into the next thing I'm going to bring up, we had a lot of death this week. And I got to mention these people. So and some of them related to General Hospital. I'll mention them last. But from Dallas, Pat Colbert passed away, who played Dora Mae for years at the Oral Barons Ball. She was the only Black cast member of the show all those years. I had done a piece on her 2 years ago, and one of my most successful episodes. I mean, you guys really, and now I think the last count, Frank, was like at 400 views or whatever, which is pretty good. I think now it's at 1,000. So anybody who's tuning in now to it, I'm saying thank you very much. It's my tribute to her, and just thank you. And her family, I've been in talks with her family. She is being buried. She's having a ceremony here in Inglewood, actually. Did not know that. Later this week. And her niece have been talking to me. And they just want to say to the fans, thank you for all of your support. So please, just AE, I have an interview with Wally Kurth. It is out. Just go to it's called Daytime Emmy Specials with Wally Kurth. here on JLJ Media. So you can check that out too. Okay, so I mentioned her. Other notable deaths were Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Frank, I always think of my childhood and teenage years. I think of her.
Yep.
Shelley Duvall. So for me, it was Popeye. For me, it was The Shining. For me, it was Fairy Tale Theater. I mean, she's been part of my life. It seems like my childhood too. Also, my friend, his mom, who I was very close to, her name was Lucy. My friend Anjo and Sam. I just wanted to shout out to her. It was a very shocking death, surprising. So I want to give a shout out to her and the family publicly for that. Shannon Doherty passed away this morning. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
She was brave. I mean, she was doing them podcasts. She was doing stuff. She was like looking to the future. I mean, she lasted 10 years. I think it was stage 4 breast cancer, Frank. Oh, she did it. That's a lot. It's another one of our childhood to adulthood. I mean, for me, it was Heathers. For me, my favorite movie. Now we're down 2 Heathers. There are 2 Heathers that are gone. Also, of course, Our House, Little House on the Prairie, Charmed, and of course, 90210. I mean, that'd be just as...
And don't forget Mallrats.
Oh yeah, oh my God, yes, and Mallrats. I'm a big Jane Silent. Oh, yeah, and Mallrats. Yes, almost forgot about that. See, she's been around for so long. Yeah. She's done so much stuff. Well, I mean, any thoughts on her before we go to the next week?
It's I know Kevin Smith had a post out today too about that and said like Mallrats would not have been greenlit if she hadn't starred in it because she was at that point like an American icon, just coming right out of 90210.
Yeah, I like Mallrats. That's funny. Yeah, she's in that. Again, for me, it was Heathers. I mean, a movie. If you have never seen Heathers, a movie not comparable to anything else. It was ahead of its time. It was different than its time. Christian Slater. Her, I mean, it's Renata White, right? One of my favorite movies of all time. And she was Heather number 3. So it's always thinking about that. I just one of my favorite movies. So I just got. She went out fighting. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And she got a lot of redemption, too. She got a lot of redemption. Oh, it's going to be at the Peacock Theater at LA Live. You're close, Frank.
No.
Right. Thank you, Dave, the Peacock Theater. Yeah, she went out fighting. And I'm about to mention him next, AE. I'm about to mention him next. We also have 2 people related to General Hospital. One was Doug Sheehan, who played Joe Kelly, and also played Ben Gibson on Knots Landing. So check out my Knots Landing after show. I gave him his props on there this week. But he was part of the Kelly's family on General Hospital back in the 80s. And then, of course, the big one, Mr. Richard Simmons, passed away. And as we talk about, we have to talk about him a little because he was very important during the hit time of General Hospital in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, plus the fitness craze. I just have to mention one thing. There is a podcast called Missing Richard Simmons. It was a huge popular podcast. I was part of it. I listened to it. I was so into it. I'm not gonna give away the ending, whatever. There was a fellow who was trying to find Richard Simmons because he was a recluse for much of his later life. Just recently he got on Twitter and started talking a lot on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. But it's a very interesting, I think it's a great podcast. I'm promoting it because I just think it's such interesting thing. But Richard Simmons was part of, I remember when I was younger and all the sweating to the oldies, Frank, and all that. I mean, he was always treated kind of like a joke on some level, but also he was kind of revered on some level. Yes, those shorts. Frank, what are your thoughts on Mr. late Richard Simmons?
Yeah, it was yeah, he really kind of ran the spectrum in terms of like people loving him, but people also wanting to poke fun at him. I mean, he was on Stern a lot.
Yes.
Howard Stern. And he was in the day where we would have celebrities wanted to do more cameos on soaps and stuff. His was a little different because I mean he stuck around. He was more of a part of the canvas than you would see like a Carol Burnett dropping in on like All My Children.
I agree.
Or Elizabeth Taylor popping in for a hot second on GH back in the day. But like he actually became part of like the canvas for a little bit, which was kind of cool to see at the time.
Yes, Frank you're absolutely right. You're very correct. He became, and Ken Schreiner has posted some stuff obviously today about that. He was a part of the cast, and someone said something today in one of my other chats today that he's dancing with Jackie Zeman because Bobby was one who used to take lessons from him, dances stuff from him. That they're dancing in heaven together. That's kind of interesting thoughts to think about that. And Amy, it was Amy and him. All the ladies were in their jazzercise outfits and rubber-sized outfits, and I mean, it's fun. I start laughing at this hilarious. Go on YouTube, you'll see it. It's hilarious, but he was like a regular, reoccurring character. It wasn't like he just wasn't. They wrote it into the show. That was his appeal. I mean, that was his appeal. And I know people joke and stuff, but I know a few people back in the past where his sweat to the oldies did help them. It did kind of help them. It was part of the. We had back then. We had Jane Fonda, we had Denise Austin, we had Jane Kennedy. All these people were doing these, things. But he was really big for a while. I mean, in that fitness and that personality thing, Frank.
Yeah. And I feel like you can't, I mean, he was like, he genuinely cared about
I
people.
think so. I think
Yeah.
so.
Uh, and I know that he had posted like what, 6 hours before he had passed. I just on
Yes.
Facebook. Yeah. He
Oh,
just went,
that's life, right? I mean, I always tell people, I'm gonna finish the show and I'm gonna pass out, kids. That's what I'm right live on air. That's it. That's how we are now. That's where we are now, Frank. It's like that's what happens. Somebody can be just texting 1 minute, and the next minute that's it. Let's see. I bought his diet plan back then. How funny. Richard encouraged fitness at all levels, any pace, just to give him. He did. And I agree with Frank. I feel like he did really care. Like he really
yeah.
did. And we didn't find anything out about him. There was no he wasn't like a charlatan or anything later. There was nothing ever came out like that. So he was one of a kind. He
Yeah.
was. I think, and if Fro.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, one of the things, like if you were going to be that out there just being who you are, there will be people who will love it, and then there will be people who want to just be critical and try to take that person down or demean them. So I'm glad that while he was reclusive for a while, that he did come back towards the end and
He
started.
did. He was having fun. He had fun online. He was having fun online, and he was doing stuff. So rest in peace. So love and light to everyone who lost somebody this week who was personally affected by them personally. Well, these are all some major losses. I mean, these are all like in their own ways.
Mhm.
Either my mother didn't care for her role in Shining because we had read the books first and the whole thing. Mother liked the Shining remake later better, but I liked her. I thought she was fine in the movies, and that was my thing. But that's the great thing about entertainment, and they all leave a legacy. I mean, Popeye. I saw Popeye as a kid, Fran. I went to the theater to see it.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
perfect casting for Olive Oil.
yes, exactly. Well, per casting for, and Robin Williams. It's just, I literally, I've never seen that as a kid in the theater. And just we go see it. And when you eat spinach afterwards, Frank.
Uh,
I like spinach to this day because it was a Popeye. I do. I like spinach.
you know,
Frank's like, no, I like
cartoon made
spinach.
it the cartoon made it seem so much cooler. Like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, that looks awesome. And then you really see spinach and you're like it's not gonna be as cool as that.
I like spinach, folks. I have strong arms, Frank. That's why your arms are weak. You don't like spinach.
Yeah, or it's like that, or like the Woody Woodpecker cartoons that would with peas, where you kind of like string them along the knife and pour them into your mouth. It made it look like eating peas was so cool, and you can never really eat peas like that in real life. And
You know what?
so,
I like peas too, Frank. I actually do. I like
ugh,
I do. He's like, that's why Frank is weak.
that's true.
You know, like peas, or they're all laughing, or or just spinach. Um, I heard. Is that true or not, Leopardus? Because Frank may know this. I know he's keyed into this stuff. There's a claim that Will Smith's going to play Popeye in a movie. Is that true, or is that just an AI thing?
I mean, there was something on the internet about
Yeah,
that. I doubt that that's gonna be real.
yeah. So I don't know either because folks, I saw an AI thing the other day. I was like, is that for real? And it wasn't. It was like it's right. They're getting me. Some of these faux trailers. They look real. I'm like, that's a good concept for a movie. I'm like, I'll do that. I'll watch that. But it's not for real, Frank. It's not real. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just Frank is strong in many ways, just not in spinach.
No,
Indeed.
oof. Like he would crush the can, it would shoot up in the air, and it would look like, yeah, you could do that. You can't do that with spinach.
I can because I eat spinach. I'm just kidding. I can't do that either. Everybody, well, they always say keep a frozen peas in your freezer for bruises and stuff. And for like, always keep peas in there, Frank. Frozen peas or steak, one of the two. It does
Peas and
work.
carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots.
I was gonna say peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots. Yes, we love that. I love that one. Okay, kids, let's talk about General Hospital. Okay, let's talk about that's what we hear. Everybody's laughing. And it's, I like spinach salad too, guys. Spinach salad's good. Okay. Anywho, all right. This week, hi George. This week made me happy in some ways. We're getting movement. I mean, he said, I have to read this. Frank is strong on the outside, but dead on the inside.
I'll take that. I will take that. That
Oh
is,
my god.
I thought I actually might be reserve that for my tombstone right now.
That you win. That one you win. You win. That just oh my god they're oh my okay I'm sorry we'll get to your hospital in a second, folks. These are really funny. The chat's really funny. If Frank ate spinach, you might check his emails. What? Frank is strong in his right hand. It takes strength to hold up his head like he always does. His right. Oh yeah, right. Okay, yes. There you go. I love it. See, I love it. Yes, I love the chat's being funny. I love it, guys. They all love you, Frank. You know that. So I love that.
Sure.
Sure. Not today. Otherwise, that's funny. Thank you, chat. You guys are our co-hosts. You guys make me laugh. We're here for you. Okay. Back to what I was saying. There's a lot of movement, and it's moving fast, which I'm very happy. We're still in transition, so that's something we have to keep in mind. Still, we're still not sure where things are going to land. And I don't care for every single storyline per se, but it is moving. I mean, stuff. I was like, I thought about this. I think I talked to Frank earlier this week. We did our Star Wars. I'm like, it's going by fast. The pacing is way different. We love Frank. I think he knows you love him. But no, I'm very happy about that part because when we start, I'm trying to think where I want to start. So we'll start with the Ava Sunny storyline. It's going fast. This is just not any like this. Like, okay, now he's coming after Ava, and then he added Kate's in the mix, and he has Scott, and Scott and Kate's are friends because of Karen. Like they're moving right, and people are choosing sides, and they're going really fast ahead. So I mean, I don't care for custody battles and that kind of crap. What are you thinking about this kind of storyline?
It's like as always, both sides are assuming the worst of each other for that. So, for either one of them to be saying like, oh, Sunny or Ava are poisoning Avery against me. Like, okay. There's been zero scenes of anybody doing anything like that. So it's like, okay, guys, whatever. But the yeah, I mean, I guess, it's running along at a clip. And the thing that kind of bugs me about this whole storyline is we've got Sonny's meds, which have kind of fluctuated in importance in this, where it was nice this week we get to see Ava with the doctor and just like, hey, put it right to zero. Let's do it.
So now she's evil. She did now. She's done. Now she's going.
Yeah. But I mean, we've kind of lost it in the whole Pikeman thing of it as well, too, where it was uh Valentine was so, adamant about finding out like who's the blonde that knew about Sonny's meds. And that really never really went anywhere either. Where like figuring it out, never really confronting Ava about anything, about knowing that information. So I don't know. It just seems like that is kind of like faded and gained prominence at different points and odd points in the story. But kind of, came back in a big way this week.
Well, I think because we have different writers right now. So I think we're still in this. So maybe one set of writers wanted to go that direction. They said, "Nah, I don't want to do that." They have no shame. They're just like, "Nah." Now we're here, but it's still going to change soon. So you're right. It's like it's as I said. I'm trying to keep a lot of my judgment for later because I'm going to see where it's going to end up. So you're right. They have kind of changed shift on that a little bit because now Vanna is heavily now. It's about that now. I mean, now it's about that phone. Now it's about that now. But anyway, back to we'll get to that tire storyline in a second. Back to this, I love that Ava and Kate's two people. I mean, this guy has chemistry with everybody to me. He has with everybody. It was kind of cool. It's funny now that Ava's gone full bore, which I don't mind on some levels. Like I want we want you know I always want I want movement. So now with the Medicaid thing, it's gonna be really. I see what she's trying to do, but it could hurt Avery in the end. Like Leverage was saying, could backfire. With Ava, it could backfire. But Kate hates Sonny. I mean, just hates him. The passion of 1,000 suns, as Alexa said earlier about Ava. So there's that element. I didn't realize that. I had no idea that element was going to happen. I had no clue that was going to happen. I thought he was tailing her. I had no that. I didn't even know. Right now, we're seeing Patrick and Liz's work together still, Angel, I believe. Yeah, we haven't got to Liz by herself yet. So we have that going on, kind of. We had that whole showdown. I like this. This is the Ava that Frank and I have been talking about for a long time. Make a decision and show us whatever. And they made a decision. Ava's fighting back.
Yeah. It's the only thing one thing I'm part of, but it was great to see Jagger back in the mix. But I feel like the show's kind of given up on him in the sense where it's like he came in, kind of with a nice big splash. We've seen him like interacting with the characters, and even today we get to see him having a scene with Ava and stuff, or this week, having a scene with Ava. But I just feel like there's been just long, dry patches of just like no Jagger. And I don't know. I mean, certainly it is it is a big cast, and so there's a lot of stuff to service. But I feel like it seems more now that it's like we had a great idea for Jagger, then writer mix-ups happen, and now just whatever kind of drive they may have wanted to give in Jagger's story is just kind of fallen by the wayside, and he's just kind of maybe they'll give him some great exit. I don't know, but it's kind of just puttering out for him at this point.
Well, it is kind of. No, it is. I see what you're saying. I'm enjoying him on the screen. I like him. I think he's got Adam Harrington is great.
Yeah, he's great for sure, and thoroughly enjoying him. I just wish that he was given, or at least the show was a little bit more focused in what they wanted to get out of that character while he's here.
Again, I think we won't know until they finally land on the regular head writer breakdown. I think it's again we're in such transition. I think you're right. They're all bouncing around and trying to decide. He's not in the credits. So I mean, like in the opening itself, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm like you, just like, well, who's gonna be where?
Which is a bummer because it's like there aren't too many men of his age range that are single and that wouldn't just be like, oh, just another round robin of another character pairing. It's like he's a fresh person in the mix that you would give a different dynamic if he was in a relationship with any of the other women that would kind of suit him.
I agree.
And he's with everybody, so you could pair him with anybody.
Does. I did like Sonny and Ava going, reminding him that she's not scared. And she and Jerome, she's like, I'm not scared. She's like, you can get who I am. And she's reminding us who she can be. I feel like she's been neutered for so long.
Yeah, too many times she's been written as scared of Sonny. Yeah, and just frightened to that. So for her to be able to kind of go back to form and be, just a strong woman who's an equal to Sonny, is good to see.
I agree. I'm glad about that. Let's say I'm going to record this. Just thinking, like you're dumb. You're dumb. That was so dumb. Like,
well, because it's like great idea, Sonny, but then you just start talking in just such bullying ways on that recording. Like, yeah, you may as well just delete it, dude, because that's not gonna help you at all.
Not at all. So yeah, but I'm saying, speaking of fast storylines, another one that's going fast, and I'm just like, okay, I can't remember what you said. I feel like you said, I can't remember. Well, so you'll remind me. So Mac and Cody, it's out. It is out. Sasha went over there and said her part. I mean, it's going fast. I mean, it's going fast. She was like, I'm the one who did it. Because he's like, how did it happen? How did it happen? I go, where's Sasha? Well, Sasha showed up and told her piece. I love that Maxie was on one side of him trying to talk to Cody and Mac, and how she's like, and they bring up her past. She's like, you always gave me when I was a hellion, basically. And Felicia talking to Cody and talking to Mac. Like, I kind of like that. It's going fast, but I can't remember if you said you wanted. I think you said you didn't want them to be fighting. You want him to accept. I can't remember, but they're fighting. So
Yeah,
Frank, what's
it's
up?
I mean, not surprising. And yes, when you're finding out this information that like, hey, this guy that I thought was my kid, who then I learned wasn't my kid, but oh wait, he lied. He really is my kid. I could understand having that momentary hurt, but I don't know. I don't need this to drag out too well as either. Great story beat to have Mac be mad, of course, because who wouldn't be about something like that? But I don't need to drag it out that long either. With this, the Scorpio stubbornness, on both sides. I mean, we already see that enough from Cody anyway. It's already been dragged out, but because of, real life reasons that the storyline's already dragged out as long as it has. So I don't need it to drag out any longer in terms of that. They can, get over the initial anger and try to start from the beginning and and we'll slowly build up from there. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind it this week. If it goes into like a second or a third week, if there's still like anger and we're not doing this, I'm going to start getting really tired of that story beat.
Yeah, I can't remember what you said. But Terrence Matthews, who gave us the super chat, thank you, says, Frank, you once said, even when the pill tampering comes to light, people's perceptions of Sonny have permanently changed. Dante proved that when he told Sonny, even before what he did to Cyrus, that he has a violent history. We did have the Dante Sonny exchange this week too.
Yeah, man.
Sonny was like rude. It's like rude.
Yeah.
Rude. Let's throw call security, get you out of here. And Sonny's like, no, I'm not going nowhere, Dad. Come on. Come on, Dad.
It's just people and it fluctuates. Like his own son who loves him uh is coming to that, says that to him, and he's all gruff, rah, 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 rah. And then with Carly, who he's talking about Donna, it's like, well, I was hoping for better, but I'll take what I can get about Carly not, just talking trash about Sonny in court. Like, where's okay? At least that guy was a little bit more upbeat and like a human being. He couldn't do that with his own son.
No, it was the Moss. The Moss has been back. Thank you,
That's
Moss,
true.
in the kitchen. I've been very happy. My Moss is happy that Moss is back, so we're very happy about that. Thank you, Moss. Yeah, and then you had the brief thing with Sonny. And Jason. I'm not working against you. I'm not
Oh.
working against you. I'm
Do you
not
think
working against you. But I can't tell you what's going on.
that seems dumb to me for that?
Me
Like,
too.
I'm with Carly. It's like just tell him. Just tell
Um,
him whatever. But do you think Carly's still using Corinthos coffee?
yeah, it's free, of course.
Do you
Her
think
man's
it's
there. Of course, she's drinking it.
I mean, I
The
don't
best
know.
coffee in town. Come on. Y'all know. I've been drinking it. Shit, it's free. My ex man has coffee. I'm drinking it. Sure.
Do you think she's getting it for free though?
Yeah. I'm
I
paying
mean, when
for it.
she's disloyal to Sonny, I figure like he cuts that off,
Well,
right?
Jason's there now. So
Oh, that's true.
Jason.
That's true. Yeah, yeah,
He'll half. He's
that's
half.
true.
Get the coffee. It's not decaf. Yeah, doesn't Metro Court also get that coffee too, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, any fine dining establishment is always going to be using Corinthos coffee.
Exactly. It's the best. They're all, yes, she's drinking the coffee. So she's drinking the coffee. Yes, she is. That's so funny. But I'm gonna call you too. I'm like, Jason, can you tell him what's going on? And he just won't. And the thing is with her, as she said, I can still go to prison. That's the whole thing. Like, this is not, if you do what they tell you, and they won't send her, of course, we know they won't send her. But the whole point is it's for drama reasons.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that case is still saying that you're a
Yeah.
head of a mob organization and actually proving that you are. We've seen plenty of other people, say something, but not have it's not enough just to say it. You've got to be able to prove it.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't know. I feel like the Carly thing I feel like they're upping the stakes of that, where I feel like in other cases it would not be as like such like, oh my gosh. I think Diane is they're writing Diane is to act more concerned about the success level of this case as opposed to other cases where she's much more confident, like, no, 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 we can get that thrown out. So I don't know. Seems a little off balance to me, just to juice the stakes.
Well, Diane, I mean, well, she explained that it was. I mean, I guess it's all up in the air, but I'm thinking, isn't Diane the best? I mean, can't she just like do she gotta do what she gotta do? And she's busy right now. She got the whole same thing with Ava. She got this over here. She like running around. Because Alexa was like, "No, I'm not gonna help you."
Yeah.
She was like, "I will if they ask me what kind of father. If you're a good father, yeah, I'll say you're good or whatever. But if they ask you anything else, I'm telling the truth." I'm like, "That's right, Alexis. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth." Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't blame her because it's like you can't just sit there and say like, oh no, I think his chosen profession is a great one. But then I guess the rebuttal to that is like, is there any other allegations that we know he's a coffee importer? Do we know anything else?
It's just hilarious to me. She was like, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna say anything to you. I'm gonna tell what you tell." But I'm like, "Dang, Alexis, he's coming to you for help." So we'll see. We'll see with that one. Also, um, we'll slide that into because it's all part of the same family and stuff. We got the whole on his end, the Natalia thing and the Blaze Christina thing. So now Blaze and Christina are going to do a joint interview. The problem I have with this storyline, there's so many problems I have with the storyline, but one is they haven't been together long enough, to me, in my opinion. That it's like I'm like they just got together. Like I'm just kind of like I don't know. I'm just like I don't. It's just I don't know. It's just so we're gonna show United Front and show who we are, and yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel this part of the storyline.
But when you know, James, and it's just the two of them know that this is end game. And so it's okay that, they've been together just a minor amount of time and we're making it like they're just some powerful super couple. Uh, the one part about this storyline though is like I don't see Blaze's label dropping her.
Right, right.
Uh, yeah, because uh, coming out is always, no matter how secure you are in yourself, is always a challenging process, and it varies from person to person. Just reactions from family members and stuff like
Yes,
that, and how they
yes,
feel about that. So I feel like the lack of empathy that is being shown, and it's easy for people on the internet to
right.
criticize and all that, but I feel like there's no statements about like hey, there is a spectrum of people and the way that they react to hearing that somebody coming out. Uh,
Yes,
and that, it's just like anybody that's coming out still has parents that may not support that entirely, or at all, or cut
right.
them off. And so why that isn't like part of the discussion as well too. It's why, but we're placing it solely on Blaze. We're making her the bad person. So we've got to drop her label rather than like, holy cow, yes, Blaze has got a mother that doesn't support her at all like this. And it's a sticky, challenging, delicate situation. Why are we not supporting an artist in this time or a person in this time rather than like, nope, gotta go.
Well, they went so fast again, going fast. I mean, again, at least not dragging this out. It's going pretty fast. But again, I'm with you. Um, First of all, so she's going to leave the cosmetics things because she's choosing to leave. Deception is like, and they're like, no, let's take a little break. That's fine because it's scandal. But like, why are you leaving? I kind of like that they fought that a little bit. They're like, well, why are you just? I mean, it's kind. I know it's kind of left up in the air, but it's kind of like, yeah, why are you? Like, why are you doing that? Number one, hi to Schema Beauty. Hi, you guys. Number two, it's 2014, like Frank says. 2014. All right, time to wake up, Rip Van Winkle. It's 2024. And nowadays, there's so many queer artists out there that it's becoming, like you said, at first there's a little shock value, of course, but I think that the regulator would capitalize on it these days now. It'd be like, okay, let's see what her next album is going to be, her next song. Like, they would totally capitalize it. I don't think they would totally drop her. I'm not saying every label in America would love to have it, but I'm like, if she's so popular, it would just be gossip fodder. I don't think it would be cancellation. That's the weird thing for me. It's like it'd just be gossip. They were just like, "Oh my gosh, she's gay," and it came out. I mean, we have songs called WAP. People, you know what that means. I'm not going to say it on here on the show. By Megan Thee Stallion, and all them, they're putting out songs about their body parts and half naked and stuff. And nowadays it's normal. Like it's literally a normal thing. It's not anything. They have they have gay people out there singing songs all the time. They have Lil Nas X on it. It's all regular stuff. But a lot of times it's gossip. It's not they get canceled. So I feel like the storyline's a little too 1950s. It's like this is a little too antiquated. That's my word.
Yeah.
So if you're a singer and you're popular, she's like I don't know, is she a Beyonce? Is she I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just think it's a little overblown for me too.
Yeah, like a Sabrina Carpenter type, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah, and it's just like, yeah, people have parents. Everybody should have parents, and they know sometimes their parents are jerks, and they don't
Yeah.
agree, and they can just say kind of hateful, opinionated things that you as a child don't agree with. Uh, so for Blaze to be being like the fall person for all of this seems a little like out of touch to me on this.
Somebody said it feels like it was written 20 years ago. I agree with you. I just feel like it's a little antiquated for me. Yes, Jacqueline Grace Lopez was on GH Sunday Shift last Sunday, so it was an interview. I didn't have a chance to watch it and listen to it or watch it, so but it's something on there. Yeah, she was on it. Yes, she was on it with them, our buddies. But no, for me, I'm just like it's antiquated in that area. They're taking the focus off of Natalia and putting on Ava. That's wrong. Also, I
Yeah.
understand outing. Trust me, I'm gay. I understand the whole thing. I mean, that was like years ago. It was a really, really big thing back in the day. But it's like, so we're not going to focus on the hateful words Homegirl said. We're going to focus on Ava exposing it. That's why like, Ava was like, "Excuse me, yeah, she was wrong on some level, but she was like, but you're going to go on me?" I'm like, "I didn't say that shit. It was her. She said it." Like, no matter who, yeah, why are you talking to somebody you don't know? Like and Natalia didn't back down. We had Christina confront her. I said it's going fast. They're going forward, Frank. So they had Christina confront her, and she didn't back down.
I just like how she was like, Christina, you just need to leave now. I just can't deal with
Yep,
you anymore.
she had no time for her. She had no time for her, Frank. You gotta get out of here. Time for her. It was hilarious. You like, so it's kind of like that's what you should be focusing on that. And it's like, I can't do an interview with my mother. No, I can't sit down with her and my mother together. I can't do that. So I'm like, okay. So, but they're making. I feel like the focuses are all wrong. They're all just like it just am. Trust me, folks. Trust me. As the queer potion can't even speak portion of our duo here. I want storylines that are LGBTQI plus. I'd love to have stories like that. Not this. This one isn't. It just doesn't feel. I mean, her mother being hateful. I want to see that play out as a family thing. I don't care for the actual professional part of it. And Christina's already thanked your parents like 100 times. I know this is my impression, folks. I just want to thank you both one more time. You guys have total problems when I was growing up. I was kidnapped a couple of times, or whatever. But me being gay, you just have no problem with it. Thank you. Oh, they were not perfect parents. Trust me, they were not. They were not perfect parents. I don't think Blaze is as famous as Sabrina Carpenter. I think she's more independent. I don't. Well, see, Daisy Flower, they've never. See, it's the thing. They've never established what level she's on. They keep just saying she's famous. The kids knew who she was, Daisy Flower. Remember, the kids knew who she was at Quartermains. They knew who she was. People know who she is. So is she? I mean, I don't know. But yet the writers changed. That could be it too. I mean, I don't. Who knows? Come on,
Yeah,
Frank.
uh, yeah. And I don't know what Natalia's next moves are. I mean, are they keeping her around? I feel like this is one of those things where somebody like, all right, I'm just going to go back to, Florida for a while and just, collect my thoughts. And maybe at some point we can try to reconnect or something like that.
But no, but Frank, she's in the credits.
That's true. So I don't know. Uh, I mean, she does not, the way they're writing this character does not seem to be wanting to change any of her views. So but Sunny forgave, or Sunny at least gave her a pass, just so you could like, but Ava's gonna pay.
Yeah, again, he's focused on Ava, which makes sense because he's not in his right mind, and and Sonny has tunnel vision. He always has tunnel vision. Um, but I tried. So when I tried defending Sonny the other day, people got mad at me. I don't care. I'm gonna defend him again. I feel like would say first he's not in his right mind, but secondly, he understands Natalia's position. That's been the whole thing. He gets it, and he's been trying to help her overcome it. I think that's his position. It's like, yes, she's. I mean, I'm trying to help her see that it's okay. Your daughter is okay. It's okay. And so I feel like that's what Sonny's position is. But I know folks are like, Sonny is co-signing. I don't think he's co-signing. It's that he's not in his right mind, first of all. But secondly, he's trying to help her. He likes her and he's trying to help her, I think, on some level. I mean, whether misguided or not.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess she does not have uh as deep of a connection to Sunny,
Right.
where Jason, Carly,
Yes.
Dante, who feels that anything that has less empathy towards any of them for the perceived slights that he feels from them. For them, they're like, "No, you're dead to me now. Get away from me." But I guess Natalia gets little bit more empathy than anybody else in his family.
Well, it's the thing. They're not close. You're right. And it's like, and Gus Smith, you agree with me. Last show, Seth and I were fighting, but she agrees with me in this show. Thank you. I love it. She says it feels like it's one of those things where I feel he doesn't feel he has any room to point a finger at her, which I think is what it is too. It's like he just knows that it can be, he comes from a Catholic, Latino or upbringing too. He understands Natalia, where she's coming from, but he's trying to get her to see that it's, oh, you love your daughter no matter what. Just love your daughter no matter what. And that's what he came to. But see, Sonny also recognizes his traits in his daughter also, which he said. He recognizes that she has some of the same traits as he does. That's why they're close. That's why they fight. I mean, it's kind of like I just think it's Natalia. It's a character that I think is very polarizing. Clearly, that's her job. Repolarizing. That's her job. And I think that's what's so wonderful about it. It's that is that we're getting different sides. I don't mind her being homophobic. We're getting different sides. It's realistic. And but when she's talking about loving our children, loving your children, she's telling and see they also used her a little bit towards Christina becoming a mother, become not really becoming. She was mean. She was like, yeah, you just give that baby away, and so now we have that side of things going on, obviously, and Christina couldn't say much, so it was like kind of bringing that up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like yeah, I don't know how much Natalia knows about all the reasons why
Right.
Christina's doing what she's doing, but just like, oh yeah, I mean, we do have Christina's scene with Alexis, where I guess like any parent, as much as you want to try to forewarn your children of potential pitfalls in their life, uh, and as much as you try to say it, it's like for some reason they will not listen ahead of time, and they can only appreciate that advice after they've already gone through and hit that stumbling point that you were trying to avoid them from hitting. So for her to have those scenes with Alexis, like you were right, what you were saying at the beginning, I didn't really understand that as I'm getting closer to the due date, I would have these feelings about this child.
Did you like that? Are you liking that turn?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I want the storyline just to be done, and I feel like there's a lot of like Christina writing Christina where she's just oh, like, what if they break up? And TJ would keep Molly from ever seeing him, so maybe I should sue to get custody to make sure that Molly could see the child. Ugh, like that's getting a little too convoluted. Like, all right, whatever. But at least I appreciate them having a moment between Alexis and Christina where Christina could be like, yeah, you tried to tell me, and I really didn't. I just charged in and didn't really understand.
Yeah. Another thing with keep it moving.
And I also think it's just, again, this whole thing is just like the challenges of, as we've always talked about, like just a large cast of this, where maybe the Blaze, Natalia, Christina, Gay struggling with a parent struggling with that could be a better story if the show had less of a cast or decided to just change the way they told stories and were able to just focus on this a little bit more to give it some time. Because I feel like the next time we'll see Natalia might be maybe maybe late next week, one episode maybe. I just feel as it's tough to kind of keep any sort of interest or momentum in some of these storylines when we don't get a chance to see a lot of this stuff that frequently in a week. It could be like 2 weeks before we even see another follow-up scene about this stuff.
So we have two storylines that everyone's talking about as we came into the show. It's about it online. I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to start with first. I guess we'll start with, because it did make me chuckle, with Sasha. We'll start with, yes, we'll start with Drew and Willow. Again, before we get to that, Jen Elliott, national treasure. Even her small scene with Homeboy, the senator, the outgoing
Yes.
member, that was amazing. I'm like, just like, this girl could do anything, could do anything. I mean, she made that small couple scenes about him, he's basically dying and the wife, and maybe she make a joke. I was bringing her out, I was invited. It was so cute.
It was great. Also, I'm curious about, with Monica. I mean, they mentioned Monica that she's
Yes.
in bed and it's been a rough year for her.
Yes.
I
They left that out.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I forgot
Uh,
about that. They left that out.
yeah.
So what I don't know what that means. I don't know. I think maybe they're setting up something. I don't know. I mean, the action's still alive. Their Charles is still alive. With
For
all that.
sure.
But yeah, but I don't know what. Yeah, so right now, Monica is literally off camera, and now we know why.
Yeah. Uh, and for whatever reason, whatever direction the show takes, in terms of that. I mean, I just want whatever. I mean, Monica gone is. I mean, that's a huge impact.
Yes, but we have Drew Quartermain.
Yeah, I like how he didn't like people like even people of his own family were finding that out at the at the press. Like what?
He answered your question though, Frank. He took care of Scout too.
Yeah, Scout Quartermain. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, the Sam stuff, I appreciated the scene between Sam and Dante, where it's just like, yes, Jason and Drew, they've got their own deals and their idiosyncrasies, but but we're still a family unit. So a great little thing about that. But Sam, the way that she is just, uh, uh the way that
She feels out of control. I guess. I think she feels out of control. Everybody's just doing whatever the fuck they want.
uh, yeah, but to put Drew's like decision to run for Congress as like he doesn't care about his kids. He's running for Congress. Like what? So I mean, there's only like a limited amount of things that a person is allowed to do in their life that Sam would deem like, okay, well, this person still cares about their kids. Have no other aspirations, but you have to just stay right here and don't do anything cuckoo bananas. Don't try changing your name. Don't try to, like I feel like Sam has this like preconceived way that the fathers of these children should be interacting properly with them. And yes, Sam's had to raise these kids on her own for a while for various reasons. Drew taken by not of his own volition, Jason for making his choices.
Right.
Boy, like Sam, I don't know, Sam, the way that Sam is running the shop, or the way that she kind of perceives the father of the children's relationships kind of irritates me. Do you see it, or am I just like a
You're a
nutso?
fixed person. No. 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 I see Sam. See, you're not crazy, but I do see Sam's point of view on some level. I do. It just feels like these two men are back, and they may be brothers, but they don't talk to each other, but they're very similar. That's just I like that talk too with Dante. It's kind of like they're just like they're just coming back doing what they want. And I'm just like, and so I feel like Sam feels a little bit like, everybody just doing what they want and it's like just not telling me nothing. These are my boys and my girl, and I mean it's I don't know if she's overreacting. Maybe she is a little bit. Parents do sometimes, but I just think it's kind of ironic that Jason and Drew are just kind of like, I'm making these decisions, and they are affecting them on some level. I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel, but she does have Dante, and I feel like she needs to focus on that. And she said she's focused on that. That she has a man, and they're a blended family, and Dante seems to get it every time. He's like, he gets it. And maybe because Sam doesn't have she wasn't close to her own father. She found out who he was later. Maybe that's it. Dante's had experience with this, so that's why I love when he interjects his point of view to her. Maybe that's the point. He's there to, show her, be the counterpoint to her overzealousness, maybe in the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe
Uh,
I don't know. I mean, some people in the chat are like, "They hate the way she's written." Whatever, I guess. But I also feel like on some level, I kind of get it. On some level, it's that these men are just making these big life decisions. I mean, they're not small decisions, folks. Running for government. My father worked in politics when I was a teenager, and I understand it a little bit. There's a whole public thing that goes in it, and you're on scrutiny also. I mean, you're a part. You become whether you like it or not. I always think of poor Amy Carter back in the day.
yeah.
They ran her through, and Chelsea Clinton. They ran them through the ringer. The people in the press were not kind to them. They were children, were not kind to them. So I'm just saying it's a part of that is true, folks, whether you like it or not. I mean, politics, and nowadays, politics all over the place. So I'm just saying it's kind of like it's Sam acts like she's never been selfish when it comes to her kids. Well, she said, no, remember Sam said a while back, I see a part of me in him too. The recklessness stuff that she used to do. She's acknowledged her past. I don't think she's hiding from it at all. She's acknowledged it, but I think she feels she's changed.
And yet she hasn't, because she will try to crack through the FBI servers to find out, get an audio recording or the dirt of what they've got on Jason, not fully realizing like, hey, I could go to jail. And that was my choice to do this. Nobody made me have to go find this information. But I decided to do it.
So Sam's freaking out too much on Jason to me, but I understand where she's coming from with Drew. See, I'm telling you, when it comes to politics, it's a little different, and that's a whole different story. And I've been through it, so I know. And I was a fat teenager, I had to go through it, so I understand all this. It was not fun. You're not like your father. I had to hear all that stuff, that crap. I had his name, so I had to hear all that crap when I was growing up. So I understand it.
It was interesting because as we got like Drew's kind of listening tour, as he went around talking to various folks about like, hey, I think I'm going to make this run. We never really saw the a scene with him and Sam talking about it at all, or what
Nope,
this would be to Scout. We never saw
nope,
that scene.
nope. We sure didn't.
So whether it really happened or not, I mean, I'd like to think that it did, and we just didn't see it. But I mean, to tell you like, hey, that means Scout's gonna have to change your last name too, because Kane's just a placeholder.
Everybody's on that shit. I didn't mean to get into all discussion about the kids, but I'm just saying. I just think it is legit because I thought we thought it was funny a few weeks ago with the Carly Jason thing, like because he don't care, he don't care about stuff. But kids, different story. Like the family members, like Tracy, they're like, well, we weathered worse. So like they don't care. And I love that Tracy's behind it because he's a quarterman, and we said Alan would be proud of you. I mean, I thought it was all wonderful within character because again, the quartermains do come together when something outside force something or they want to push an agenda of some sort. I love how they brought up Ned and him and he was mayor. How he doesn't want to run. He's good enough to be mayor again. He's like, nope, I'm good. Everything good. I'm good. I'm good. And but I mean, okay, we got two ways we can go this direction. We'll go the direction you guys want to go to.
Uh,
All this is great and good, Frank. This is all wonderful and good. We can talk about it for another half hour or two. But the part everybody was talking about, Frank, is the kiss. That's all they want to talk about. This, I
wait,
will say,
between Drew and Nina,
between you and I, what do you think? Like, hello, between Willow and I was say Willow and Sam. No, that'd be a kiss. No, but I see that. No, between Willow and Drillo, they call him, I think, or something. I have to say, I'm shocked they did go through it and it wasn't a dream sequence, Frank, and have Sasha see it.
Yeah, that was, and seeing Sasha being like needing somebody to talk to
Oh my
about
god,
that.
hilarious, hilarious. I gotta say something. And their conversation was funny. I gotta say something. Oh yeah, okay. She's like, let me tell the story. Like, what the like, what's funny? Let me tell the story. Like, she's like, I gotta tell somebody that everybody's all between me and Frank. And we didn't kiss on camera yet.
Yet.
Yeah, I go yes, yes. That's very important. Let's be in the same spot. But I'm saying it was hilarious. And my thing is, this is what I want to see more of Frank at the Quartermain house. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see.
It's it is interesting. It wasn't until like maybe a little bit before like the pool stuff where it
Yes.
just became really like, man, these guys feel like they just want to
Right.
make
I was
out.
like, she was like, hi,
Uh,
Drew. She was like, she
uh,
was all up in Drew's chest at the pool.
yeah.
Like,
But
hi, I love you.
during during the whole sickness and when Drew first came back and he was going to be helping
Yes.
Willow and stuff like that, it came through like, hey, I'm going to help somebody that that I care about and Michael cares about. So by extension, I care about this person and want to help as much as I can. Uh, but like that change where just incrementally to do so we can see Drew say like, hey, in a different life, it would have been interesting to see what you and I could have done.
He
I'm like,
said it.
yes, and I was like, huh?
I know. I was like, see, every once in a while, we get shocked. We haven't been shocked in a long time, Frank. And I was like, they're really going. Like they think they're really going there. They're really going there, Frank. And this is not a sequence of like wake up, oh my god, his dream. Like it's for real. It is for real.
Yeah.
When Sasha saw it, it's really for real. And we had Nina telling Sasha, me and Drew, and then she sees Drew and Nina kissing later. Her eyes were like explode. They were just like she was just like, what? Like to me, that is everybody in the house. I want eavesdropping. I want this is what I want. Yes. Yes,
uh,
yes, yes, yes.
I liked the bit with Sasha and Nina, where just saying like, "Hey, it's could this thing with Drew just because you're not with anybody?" And Nina having that, it's like, "Yeah, I'm lonely for being in." Although, like Nina, I've been in a relationship so long. I was like, "Really? Have you been with Sonny that long?" I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway, where just like that could be playing into like I say, I just want to just the comfort of another person is great. Uh, so yeah, this is just I feel like I want to see the stickiness of this of Drew kind of, screwing around with Nina, but also screwing around with Willow. Oh, it's a shame that Jordan seems like she's gonna fall on the wayside of this. But if they go for the hat trick and get Jordan in there as well,
I was the same. I wouldn't count her out. I wouldn't count her out completely. I wouldn't. They're still in the same orbit. They're in the same orbit
I mean,
still.
I felt there was a lot of energy when they were talking at the MetroCorp pool
Yes.
between the two of
Yes.
them.
I
Very
agree.
flirtatious. I felt like you could have had them start making out at that point, and I would have bought it.
I agree.
So give me Drew with three women.
Why
You may
not?
if you're gonna do two, go three.
Why not? I say why not? And they all find out. And they don't get mad. They decide to band together. I'll work that. But no, we need a resident hunk on a show. That's what soaps are made of. Also, a resident, bro ham on there. And why not? He has a great body, and he's tall and good looking. So why not? And to have mother and daughter interested, soapier the better. I mean, they're coming together now, of course. So of course this would happen. But see, this time it's not Nina's fault. She didn't do anything wrong. She was like, she had no reason to tell Jordan, tell her anything. But see, Will has everything to lose. And my like, she seems different. What happened to my wife? She seems different. I want to get some fried chicken or whatever. So like, Michael's asked out because he's just sitting there like, what's going on? And Sasha's like, me and Michael were a long time ago. We're better as friends. They made her say that to Cody. Like, we're just friends a long time ago. And Willow's her friend because they became friends, right? So it's kind of like Lauren Carr goes, typical politician. Exactly right, exactly. Well, it's just kissing everybody. Um, so I mean, I love it. I think having the Quartermain house full and the center of attention, I will take that 1,000%.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, they're not playing it up as if there's issues between Michael and Willow. Like that's kind of causing her to want to kind of
Yeah,
stray or like it's, and there are just times in life where people just
I love it.
give in to just, just a moment. And whether I feel like you can't open this door between Drew and Willow and then just close it after their talk of like, oh no. It was just a kiss and that was no
Oh
big
yeah,
deal.
oh yeah. They're still working together. Come on. And Nina's working with them too. There has and Nina and Willow are getting along. It has to. It's there's more kids. There's more, and I'm here for it. There's more, and I am here for it, Frank. I am here for you. Best believe I want more of this in my like in wheelhouse of the other Quartermains. We want it. 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 Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Not for Drew and Nina Willow with the whole running for office. Yes, exactly. Now they're mentioning Chase too, because remember Chase and Brooklyn are going to be living there too. Chase and Sasha didn't do anything; they pretended, but Chase and Willow were together at one point. This I don't think they're going that direction.
No.
But someone thinks they're going to do Michael Sasha again. They think and Cody.
Interesting. I will be curious to see how when this comes out. I mean, of course, it's going to come out at the worst possible moment for everybody. So whether this affects Drew's campaign, whether how this affects the Cole Quartermain family, where you've got, where people are having to choose between Drew and Michael. Pick sides, everybody.
That was not just a kiss; they made out. But yes, they did. They did tongue each other down. That
Yeah,
was.
oh no, yeah. It was like, you can do the one kiss, but when they separate and then go back and change angles and then go back in, you're
Yeah,
getting it.
they did. I mean, I again, I'm just like they're going full steam ahead with this, and I'm here for it. There's that, but we have to go. There's another storyline we got to talk about too. That's going full steam ahead. Um, and people are talking about, it, of course. Is oh, my all of a sudden there's no story. I'm missing a storyline. There's no big storyline. I'm missing out who it is. All of a sudden,
Uh,
look, I'm reading the comments at the same time as I was thinking about to say it. I lost my train of thought of who it was.
is it Portia trying to recall
Thank you.
Mary
There we
Poppins?
go. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a terrible storyline.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go, kids. So we got Portia running around, telling anybody could hear that Laura's bad. And that Laura needs to be impeached, basically. She's trying to get a measure on the ballot. And she's falling on all these deaf ears. So I don't know where they're going with this because, again, we're in writing regime changes. So it's kind of like, I don't know what's going on. But to have, first of all, Trina was in the same room with her father. It's been like ages since that's happened. We find out that Hat Daddy's still on the canvas somewhere. He's like at the club. Stella's somewhere. I guess she's doing patient advocacy. But she gets a dinner from MetroCorp, wherever she get it from, for her parents to have. Because it's been a year since it's been shot.
Which I do like the Metro Court, like, hey, sorry to get shot at our place. Here's a
Right.
dinner on
Here's a
us.
dinner for you. Here's a dinner on us. I'll take it, Frank. I'll take it. But Portia, while they're kissing, I mean, hello, and it's completely Donnell Turner. I don't know how you stop. Wants to talk about Laura. And what's really funny to me is that Curtis is like, I went and saw her myself. So are we just doing this? Are we just not telling? Are we just keeping secrets from each other? He's like, I didn't know how to tell you at first. And then he's like, I kind of see a difference.
Yeah. Portia got what she deserved in that moment because I don't know why they wrote it like that, where she comes in and she's all like, this is going to be great. And then she pulls a 180. He goes, but I'm just so worried about my family. Oh, You get this. You brought this on yourself, Portia. Curtis just wanted to have some dinner and get his
Yeah,
freak on with you.
exactly. It was a little nookie, and you were getting in the way. And then before that though, she went to Jordan,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jordan turned her down too. Like Laura's a good person. Like she's not doing, and it's like here's my deal. Here's my thing. Jordan put Portia in check with her quickness. She did basically, and pointing out Portia was like, um, you could be the new mayor.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever. But what? No, here. So here's my thing. I actually enjoyed these two women talking about the jobs because she brought up Jordan's cop past, and she was like, "But no, the law pertains to everyone." And she like broke it down for her why she's like, this is if there's a so all of Portia's tactics didn't work. Jordan basically shut them down. I mean, she believes in Laura, so she's fine, but she also was like, as a cop, if there was some impropriety, it has to be that. And she said, that's because people you like. It goes for everyone, and that is a cop thing to say. That is very much a cop thing that they would a detective would say that. A
Yeah,
police
and
attorney,
especially when she finishes up, it's like, and just like it is in medicine.
right,
It's like, come on, Portia, you know what it's like too as a doctor. It's, you
right,
trust everybody. You don't just start making your choices based on how you feel about somebody.
yes. And here's the thing: I get Portia's side. I get Portia's side. I get Ava's side. I get no. I mean, I totally get all that. And I mean, even when Elizabeth showed up and then and Portia went off on Elizabeth, she's like, "I got what happened? I just came. I just walked in. I'm looking for Aiden's whatever things up for Aiden." And she was like, what happened to me? Well, you're all family, but I get that. I get that Portia is upset and she's nervous. I get that. And but where was that same fervor for Cyrus? It was there. She was stern with Cyrus, but why wasn't there a whole thing about he was released?
Yeah.
And I don't see her. They didn't show her. He did. He actually held Trina captive and then hostage. And Laura came in and took her place. How are we forgetting that also? Laura came in and said, "I will take your place," and she got Trina out of there. So how are we forgetting that thing too? But I'm saying if we're going to have Portia upset about everybody coming out and hurting her daughter, then we need to see her upset about Cyrus just roaming the streets also.
It seems like the way they write Portia is that she will just fixate on something, whether it's Spencer and not being good enough for Trina, or in this case, Heather Weber being possibly being released, or at least the case being reopened again. And then she just focus on that, and then she'll go around, like you said, and she'll just chat with people, and then get frustrated when everybody else around her is not sharing the same point of view as her. And then she'll just start doing, she'll just start trying to just screw with them on her own. I mean, it didn't really go anywhere with Spencer. They kind of dropped that. Uh, we'll see if but it also feels like it's not going to go anywhere now because Heather and Laura have that scene where, yeah, Heather says, no, don't do this anymore. I appreciate you doing that. Just come by and visit, bring a picture of Ace, but it's better if I just stay in here. So it feels like that's being dropped now. So it's like, okay, I guess this storyline's dead. Maybe it should be, but I feel like they still kept that door open when Trina is talking with Laura. He goes, but yeah, but what if?
They did. They did.
Where it's like, how is Portia gonna react when her own daughter's like, no, who knows? Maybe she should, she should be given, some consideration about how this metallosis may have affected her.
It's funny. Like I said again, and Elizabeth brought up Franco. She brought up Franco to why she explained why she was on Laura's side. Um, I get Portia's stuff, but again, when Franco got out, some of the fans were upset. The other fans totally liked it, and they liked her with Liz. And that's the whole thing. And apparently, there are a lot of Frizz fans out there. I'm not making this up, who forgave him for all the things he did to everybody else. He was a serial killer also, and things he did to Sam and Jason and everybody. And they were all Team Frizz. And that to me was kind of like, is no different than Heather. It's almost the same thing. And I think, and Laura is not, I don't think Laura is trying to get her out. I think she's trying to get her as a fair trial and somewhere to be less restrictive, but not, I don't think she wants her out.
No,
I don't think she wants her out.
yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like it's a very nuanced point that Laura's trying to make, and it seems to be in a world today where those nuances are harder to communicate to people and get them all on board, where people want to just see things more like black or white. She was a murderer. Who cares what the reason was? She killed five people. She should be in prison. As
Right.
where I feel like
And or
poor.
just like it's like, but just she just feels bad that something came up. Now she knows about it. But again, I mean, it's not my favorite storyline either. I'm not a big fan of storyline. It's an interesting story to go with, but I'm willing to see where this goes. And I don't, again, I don't mind if, thank you, Terrence. I don't mind if Portia's upset, but now let's link her up with somebody who's also upset too. Why I heard Ava talking. They should be talking. They're friends through Trina. So why are they talking? Why is she going, Ava? She hooked you. Like, why is she talking to who else is left? Who else was left? It was Trina and it was Ava and who else arrived?
Diane.
And Diane. Why is she talking to Diane?
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, now but it did but it does so Kelly Nolan says the very Kelly popular characters on the show. I think that's the difference. Well, I mean, who did Homegirl kill? She killed what's his name? He was not popular. Who else did she kill?
She killed Rory. She killed Brando.
Okay, Brandon was semi-popular. Okay,
Uh, then she killed uh, uh, the drug dealer guy.
so Callie, she didn't kill that many people that were famous. If we go that direction, she didn't. But the whole point, Brandon, okay, maybe Brando's a big one, but she hooked people like Ava and Diane, so that was the big deal. She's kind of Trina, but Franco, slept with Maxie. That was one thing he did. He made him sleep with her. He totally. She killed Britt. She killed
Yeah,
Britt.
that's true, yeah.
Britt and Oz and Britt. Yes. So, but it doesn't matter. Franco's still a serial killer. He made Sam think he raped her. Something. He did a lot of stuff to them. I'm just saying he was deemed a serial killer. That was his whole thing, and then he became this popular character. I'm just saying. I'm saying it does happen. I'm not saying they're trying to do that with Homegirl, but they did do that with him.
Yeah, and I
And
feel like Liz kind of walked that line towards like, because I didn't really affect me, his past actions, I was able to kind of see a different side of him. But she also understood that anybody that had been affected by prior Franco would still not like him at all. And she accepted that.
she did accept that. And Liz said it recently. She did say that. I also think Joss and Sasha should have their say too. Well, that's the whole point. If you have a trial, they will have their say. If there's a hearing, they will have their say. That's the whole point. They decide to do that, then all the victims who are left or attempted victims can have their say. That's the whole point. I mean, that's what happened. But I think right now it's about looking at the case, and if it gets reopened, if done well, it could be a good storyline. If done well, I guess it could be good. I guess. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, but it could be. I guess. But I'm just saying, this show has a habit of doing something like that. I mean, like Faison was walking the streets, Cyrus is walking the streets. Cyrus has done some horrible stuff. Obviously, in his past, Ava Jerome's walking the streets. You say you killed Connie, you killed Connie, you killed Connie. She's walking the streets. Everybody knows it. She killed Connie, and she's walking the streets. I'm like, there's stuff. People up there. There are some folks that are not innocent. They're walking the streets and that probably shouldn't be walking the streets. And somebody would hate them. Not saying that again. I want Heather loose and all that kind of. I'm just saying that to me the outrage is very interesting. It's very selective.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if like potential Laura storylines, this seems pretty lackluster to me. But we're gonna have Lucky coming back soon, so she's gonna have at least that
Yes,
stuff.
yes,
I am fine if the show wants to get like the show after this week. consider like Friday, like we're closing the book on that story, great. Because I feel like once Lucky gets back, there will be a lot of great stuff for G. Francis to be doing.
Yeah. It is an odd storyline choice for Genie Francis, and I totally agree with that also. I think they wanted to dig into some history, and and it has affected a lot of people. It's an umbrella story. It has, Franco was atrocious, so they can let him go. I don't see why they can do it with Heather. Exactly. I'm just saying they built up Franco when he came on the show with the original James Franco. He was a bad guy. He was a creep. He was a talented artist. He was a creep. He was a bad guy. Maxie said she regrets sleeping with him. There was a whole thing. But once he got out, he romanced Carly and then Liz. Just saying. I'm just saying. It's like it was and there was, and I'm saying I got in trouble for talking crap about it. So I'm just like not saying I want Heather out, but it's interesting. It's an interesting choice. Very interesting choice. And a lot of folks think Heather will get out, kidnap Ace. That's totally possible. But who knows?
I will be curious with Jonathan Jackson coming back,
Yeah,
how that's going to coincide with Judy Francis's, like when she takes her little hiatus.
yeah,
So, because I feel like it's usually towards that time he'd be coming back. So, I hope something is going to be worked out because I mean I want to see lots of those scenes of them together. I don't want her to be like, "Well, you're back, Lucky. Great. I'm going to go off now for 3 months, doing something not in Port Charles."
right. That's what we'll see. All right, let's look at the hook crime. They're looking at the hook crimes because Heather's done other stuff too in the past. They remember people were saying, remember the Olivia drugging thing, which I almost forgot about. And they were showing those scenes. She's done lots over the years, but everybody's done lots over the years. I mean, Laura's done stuff over the years. Laura married her rapist, folks. I keep trying to tell you people that Laura married her rapist. Um, Tracy married a rapist, but it didn't affect her because she wasn't part of that whole thing. I was saying this show does a lot of that kind of stuff. So, I'm not saying it's right or whatever, but the Heather storyline is not that far off from what they normally do. They do stuff like this all the time. I mean, Cyrus is somebody who's bad, but we love him, and everybody loves the actor. They love his acting, but he was bad also. I mean, Sonny beat him up, but he wasn't that innocent. That is so crazy. Every time you say that, it's so crazy to me. It's the truth. I'm like, folks are like, this is not Laura. This is Laura. She left her child with the cast and irons to be back with her rapist and her other family. That's what she did. Sorry, kids. She did that. Laura's had she was in mental issues too. She's had mental stuff also. That's why when Cyrus came and confronted her, he was like, you're not that much different, girl. Not that much different. And there was a whole thing there. And Laura feels it. I think Laura feels it. She has her push and pull about stuff. I'm just telling you, it's like, and go online and type in Lucky confronts Laura about the rape. That whole scene with Jonathan Jackson, and it is amazing scene. It is amazing where he asked her how she could do this, and in relation to Elizabeth's rape. It's a great scene, but Laura defends herself in that scene from marrying Luke.
Yeah. Uh, oh, man.
I know. I mean, it just says no character is Laura's not perfect, and she's seen as like the good girl. She's a heroine of sorts, Frank. Right? She's a heroine of sorts, but she's had a past, folks. On General Hospital, yeah, she's had turbulent teenage years. I saw her as a teenager on the show. She's had a past. Like Scott said too, when Scott was calling out Lucy, they all have had pasts. He had a past with Heather Weather also, but they had a past with Lucy. They're all like kind of, I mean, they all, I love that they're acknowledging that they all have, like, Sam was like, I had a past also. Sam was a con woman. Remember, she had married like 5 guys or something before that, and all that stuff. She would try to get Jax first. She had a baby with Sonny, folks. Mom people, it's just like this is what soaps do. They do these outrageous. We may not like it, but this is what they do.
No, any character can come on and be like a great, like the good guy or good person, whatever that is. But if a character sticks around long enough, you the show will show you different facets of that character, and you will see hidden secrets, hidden relatives, hidden pasts that will come back and or put them in particular situations that will challenge their values that they've already kind of proclaimed from the mountaintops that this is I believe in this and this and this. Well, then you can rest assured the show will put that character in a position where they will have to compromise their values for whatever reasons, and then it's all about the short term, people can do a lot of different things. It's over the long term. Nobody's perfect, and you got to look at more like the long term spectrum. Like overall, Laura, a decent person, but
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that she hasn't done uh, actions that even she regrets or that other people dislike her for sure. And that can be for any character on the show.
I agree with everything Frank said. I'm just saying that we have to when we're judging these characters, we gotta look at their whole body of life on the show, their character's life on the show, and I say kind of go, okay, well, and again, I'm not saying I want Heather free. Well, she should pay. I'm just saying that her looking into it, everything, it's in Laura's wheelhouse. It fits right in. It fits right in. It fits right in. So I don't. So I'm just saying it's not it's not out of character, and that Portia's upset. Portia being upset is fine with me. It's fine. I'm totally fine with that. It's okay that she's upset, but it's just like she's like a one man band right now. So it's kind of like hook her up with people who will agree with her. That's fine, and I can go. I can go from there. I
I'm
can
not.
go.
It's amazing because I wasn't so bad about Portia, but I more often than not, Lily, I really don't find myself enjoying Portia scenes. So I'm always good with her being frustrated that nobody else is agreeing with her on a bunch of stuff.
Jace used to have had super villains that would just be villains and were never ever redeemed. They're just calling go and be evil. Well, he stopped. He did it at one point. He stopped doing it after a while. So they try to redeem all their villains. They tried to do that with what's his name, who I will not mention, who hopefully stays dead. Um, and Anna left sitting there. Hopefully he stayed dead. They do it everybody. I mean, look at it this way. Sonny's a guy with a heart of gold. His mom's a heart of gold. Jake's a hitman with a heart of gold. I mean, these are all. This is what they do. This is
Yeah,
what they do on the shows.
for sure. And then the other thing you do is you bring in somebody who, if you have Sonny being the bad guy, then well, how do you make him kind of a good guy? You bring in somebody that's worse than Sonny, and then you see Sonny stop this really, really bad guy, or Sonny team up in some fashion with the good guys
Yeah.
to be able to stop this bad guy. And you're like, oh well, no, they all kind of work together. So I mean, I guess Sonny's all right, right?
Well, we got that with Jason and Anna,
Yeah.
and Anna's like, nope, you don't stay down the street. I'm gonna go screw. I mean, I'm gonna get this big phone. I'll figure this out. I'll get the phone. I'll get the phone. I get the phone. She couldn't get the phone.
No, and I felt like Jason like did not give her any benefit of the doubt. I mean, he was pulling out that gun, putting it in his back. He was going before Elizabeth showed up. Like if Elizabeth had not shown up, he would be out there outside that place just watching.
It's like, Anna, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're supposed to be this double. You're a double agent on stuff, and you're just I'm treating you not that good.
I'm gonna walk out with that cell phone.
That cell
I'm
phone. Here's the keys to my place, girl. She ain't even there. She's having dinner. She's having a caprese salad, and a glass of wine with her man. I was like, that's not good.
yeah. I don't know. I have no idea where the storyline is going
Either.
because like if say Valentine figures out that Anna's trying to get him, we already know how he feels about Anna, so I don't know what he's going to do to Anna. I mean, it'll just be yeah. It's not like he's gonna kill her.
Right.
So I don't know, and he's not gonna detain her because I don't know. I'll be curious to see where the storyline goes. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's really interesting. So we have that going on, and then Jake's going to Spain apparently.
Man, always up for the kids trying to get their life goals, trying to achieve that. But it feels like maybe because of the writer change, like the summer of like teen stuff never really kind of materialized. We
Oh,
got teased a little bit like with Danny and Jake stuff. It kind
right.
of just disappeared. And even a lot of like Jason stuff that happens with his kids, it happens more with Danny, I guess, a little bit. Jake's more off screen in terms of their interactions. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I, for me, Jake leaving, okay, fine. That's
Right.
cool. I mean, I don't think it's forever. I'm sure he'll come back at any point. The only part that bums me out is like, depending on what that actor is, like if it's by the actor's choice, like I'm going to school and so I don't have time for
Yeah.
the show. Great. I hope that's the case. If Jake is actually leaving, rather than like, oh, the show just wants to kind of just put the character on ice for a while.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't know either. Again, we're in the middle of a writing change, so it may stay the same. It may, we don't know which storylines are going to drastically. We're going to see them online. We're going to see it. They're just showing us online, um, fast when they change the plot. Like, okay, that's done. Okay, we're over that. We're good, which I like. I have no problem with that. Yeah, just I mean, stop it. You're not going further. Just stop it. I'm fine with that. And it has blinders for Ron actually different for what's his name? I say his name. Um, yeah, she does a little bit. I mean, that's the part that's frustrating me is they're writing Anna as this dumb love struck person who can't do her job. But remember, she was a super spy.
Yeah.
She will do her job. So I'm like, that's the part I'm not liking. I'm like, this is like too much for me. Yes, it's not working for me. But she can emote. But don't get us wrong. Anna Phil Hughes can totally emote like nobody's business. She can make you feel stuff. But I'm like, that giant phone. I remember he's like, "How does it be the same place?" I think the same thing. Like, why would it be the same place? I could put his phone anywhere. I'm like, you know, that's not a story.
No, I mean, again, it's one of those where I think it just suffers from writing regime changes, big cast. The idea of Anna and Valentine, two sexy people who know they're on opposite sides of the law, but they are drawn to each other. There could definitely be a nice little cat and mouse kind of dancing around between all of that, but it's just not being successfully executed in this current situation.
Charlotte's in Europe. She was a boarding school. Um,
Yeah, maybe Jake will hang out with her while he's in Spain.
yeah, I wonder what's going to, and maybe it's more find lucky. Maybe I don't know. We're in Europe.
Oh, that's true.
Who do you foresee him? And Jake is his cousin. No, well, he's nobody to him. Just whatever. Could be, I don't know, something to him.
Just
But
Aiden's brother.
yeah, so he's Aiden's brother, so maybe you see each other.
Yeah.
Homeboy's gonna pay for his schooling. And I think why not? Shit, why not?
Yeah. But I'm enjoying much more like the Liz and Jason dynamic as parents, way more than I'm enjoying the Sam and Drew and Jason dynamics as co-parents.
I agree. I like them as parents. They talk everything out. He respects her, it seems like she respects him. It seems like I like him as parents also. I think it's good. I think it's good. Blah 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 blah. Folks, is there anything else? Because my house is getting hotter and I'm hot. I have like 4 fans on me right now.
Take that shirt off.
No, that will be my OnlyFans, but I'm doing it here. I'm doing it for free. I'm doing that. I'm doing that for free. Good luck,
Somebody
money.
drop that quick super chat. Somebody quick, please.
You give me a $3 super chat, I'll show you some breasts. Nuts. But no, I think that's all we're gonna end it here. It's been an hour and a half. Thank you, Frank, as always, for your insight. What are your emails? Anybody wants to know what your emails are?
Oh,
Show us emails. We won't be here next week, you guys. We will not be here next week. We're out of town. Oh my god, he's at 294, 430. Oh my god. You're
uh,
almost at 300,000.
we're on the countdown to 300,000. I think that
Oh my god, folks, you said 300,000. You're going to do something 300,000, you said.
It's true. I'm gonna just set fire to my email account and burn them all away.
Oh my God, 294. You literally are almost there. That's crazy.
Uh,
The chat is on the chat saying it's like that's yeah, okay, Frank. I actually am very impressed. I'm like, it's almost at 300,000. Like it really is. That
yeah.
okay. I'm rendered speechless actually for a moment. I'm never speechless. I'm like,
It's good to
crap.
have goals, folks, and
Oh no, if we get 200,000, yeah. Oh my god, that's crazy. The Star Wars show usually do will not be this week either. It'll be so don't email me 10,000 times. Yes, we're going to do the finale. Just that half of us are out of town. So we're going to do it next week sometime. Not this week, but the week after. I'll just follow JLJ Media. I'll let you know what's going on. But everybody, thank you so very much for watching. As always, we love having you on here. With us. You are our co-host. And everybody have a great week, you guys. If you're in hot spaces, try to stay hydrated and cool. Wear sunscreen. If you're in the wet, rainy spaces, try to stay dry. Be very careful. I mean, I know that there's just like it's